Hello, folks and fans. Welcome to another edition of Now We're Piping with Dr. Rockwood. This is a VR to Brad the Bearded Piper. Congratulations, that's fantastic. Congratulations on your big milestone, and thank you very much for this generous giveaway. Kind of funny because you posted this, I think you said you filmed it on the 15th of the month. I wasn't able to actually watch it until a few days later, but I was wondering why so many people were subscribing to my channel. And, lo and behold, I watched the video, and thank you very much for sending everyone my way. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I was like, wow, my videos are picking up traction or something. And then I watched your video, so it's very generous of you. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Not smoking at the moment because I just finished smoking. Smoking out of my Claude Romain Flair. This was the first real pipe I ever bought myself. And it's a lovely little pipe. And in it, I was smoking my Mixture 965. So this is a dedicated English pipe. But I do want to answer the questions. So you asked about a book, a TV show. Oh, by the way, I was subbed to the other three channels. So thank you very much for that. I mean, we all really do appreciate all the all the support and all the traction you've been sending our way to our channels too. So again, thank you so much. But as far as the book suggestion is concerned, probably my favorite book is L'étranger by Albert Camus. And if you can't read it in French, not to worry. It is called The Outsider in English, again by Albert Camus. This is a book that I wrote my doctoral thesis on. So when I was doing my PhD, I was examining the mechanics of his style as tools for the appropriation of absurdist and existential philosophical notions so that the reader can actually experience them rather than just read about them. But it's a work of absurdist fiction. It's very existential, it's very philosophical, but it's nothing crazy. Like, it is a novel after all. But it really has you questioning the absurdity of life. And it really has you thinking about how you're going to overcome that absurdity, and how you can choose to give meaning to your life, because it is in your power to do that. So I highly recommend this book. It's not long. The French version is only about, 184 pages. And the English translation, because English is usually written shorter than French, I got 117 pages in the English version. So fantastic book. It meant a lot to me, and it still does. I read this about once a year, and you could probably tell by all of these little sticky notes and underlines and things like that this was my pocketbook for the 3.5 years I was doing my PhD. So do check it out, L'étranger. It's a very honest story. It's a story of a man who wakes up one day and his mother's dead, and he feels bad about having to ask his employer for a day off to go to the funeral. That's pretty absurd to begin with, and the story just kind of goes from there. He goes through life and he lets things happen to him, and eventually he decides to take charge of his fate. And then once he does that, he really does come to approach his life in his own way. He creates his reality, and he appropriates meaning for himself. And in doing that, he's saying, haha, world, you're trying to get me down, but you lost. I won this time. So check it out. Fantastic book. I didn't give away any spoilers. But yeah. So as far as the TV show goes, on a bit of a lighter note, you did say you like humorous things, you like comedy and things like that. I mean, my favorite TV show in terms of humor and comedy has always been Seinfeld. I think it's the best sitcom. I think it's the funniest thing out there, because it really is a show about nothing. And everyone knows Seinfeld. You can't go wrong with Seinfeld. But sometimes you can get a little bit overwhelmed with how much shouting there is in something like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And sometimes, the humor is a little bit too flat in things like I don't know, Friends, you know, not to say that they're not good shows, and if you love those shows, then that's great, more power to you. I'm a big Seinfeld fan. I think the comedy is layered. I think it's memorable, and I think it's very, very relatable because, you know, even the craziest, wildest things that happen on that show are things that can and do happen to you in real life, right? As far as something dramatic or something a little bit more dark in terms of a TV series, I really enjoyed the first season of True Detective with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. I don't think the second and third seasons were just as good, but that one was good. Check out Fargo if you haven't yet, especially the first two seasons. They were phenomenal, I found. So in terms of, you know, in terms of more dramatic and serious and kind of dark series, I would go that route. As far as something comedic, it's Seinfeld all the way for me. Same with movies. I mean, if you're looking for a good movie, I think probably my favorite movie of all time, and it's nothing nuts, it's nothing big, it's nothing crazy. It's Secret Window, and it's with Johnny Depp and John Turturro, and it's actually based off of a Stephen King short story. And I don't know why. It's not long, it's not crazy, nothing, you know, there's no wild you know, there's no wild effects or anything like that. The story isn't slow by any means, but it's very psychological, and I really, really do enjoy it. So, you know, I encourage you to check that out as well. So once again, thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. Congratulations. And yeah, looking forward to seeing many, many more of your videos, pal. Cheers.